Hi, this is Clara and Chris from Punktastic, and we're with the guys from Gallows. How are you guys?
Hello, hello.
Doing good, thanks.
You're playing Lock-Up stage a little bit later, and that's Mike Davis's stage where he champions his acts. So how did you get involved with him, and what can we expect from the set?
Mike is just a massive supporter of up and coming punk bands. He definitely championed Gallows from the start, and like he does with a lot of new amazing bands. He had Crowns on there today. He had the Skints, who were both unbelievable in their own right, and very much different things, like two extensions of what this is all about, like ska and even some traditional kind of folk stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it still fits under that umbrella, and it's the best stage at the festival, and we're happy to be part of it.
I remember first time I met Mike, you probably won't remember this, but it was long time ago. I had a CDR of my punk band at the time. I just gave it to him. I was like, hey man, I listened to your shows, my band, whatever. You played on the next show. So that guy, he listens to everything that gets given to him. Exactly, yeah.
So yeah, you're playing your Lock-Up stage. What can we expect? I'm guessing very brutal, sweaty.
Yeah, expect 10 poles to be dislodged. I don't know.
Yeah.
And this isn't the first time both of you played Reading. What's really special about Reading? Do you have any highlights from just either going as a punter or...
I remember my first Reading. I went 1997 maybe. And I stayed at the front all day to see Metallica. And I went through Bush, Marilyn Manson, just stayed there, held my ground. I was getting slightly lightheaded, but I was I'm not going to move, don't lose my spot. And after the first two songs of Metallica set, I thought I was going to die, and had to crowd surf out of it. I was way too young and way too small to be in there. But it's great. It's a festival I always used to go to. So.
And obviously, Canada and States don't have Reading, but they have more sort of things. So how do you compare festivals and culture between?
It's really different actually. In North America, it's very much one style of music at a festival, and people would. Yeah, something like this couldn't happen in North America, I don't think. And there's a few festivals over the last few years, things like Coachella and stuff like that, that have tried to blend things a little bit more, but people just aren't as up for it. Whereas Reading and Leeds are such a tradition that people are going to go, they're going to have a good time regardless of the weather, check out a lot of bands, and you can really learn a lot about, you can find out about new bands, you can see your favorite bands, and probably see bands you never would actually go to see. I remember the first time I played over here, I saw Morrissey play, and I saw the Roots, and I saw all these bands that I saw Rammstein, and bands that I would never probably go to see if they played in Toronto, but at the same time, all in their own right are unbelievable artists. So it's really interesting. And then you end up backstage, eating dinner with Questlove or something like that, and you're just this is a weird life.
The new EP was released a few months ago and it went down really well. So what was the writing process behind that?
For the EP, the writing process was to just get in a room for 2 days, and then get into a studio the following 2 days, and put something out immediately as soon as I joined the band. Not overthink it, just make a punk record really quick.
And were there any records or anything by bands that you were listening to that were really sort of influencing you at the time?
For me at that time, I just wanted to make it really violent sounding, and I was probably listening to a lot of the hardcore that I listened to. I still listen to, but what stuff I was really into when I was younger, like thrashier stuff like Charles Bronson and just full out stuff that's completely discordant and fast, Negative Approach.
And what kind of bands do you suggest that everyone goes to see in Reading? What have you seen today?
I'd say the Skints.
They were incredible.
Today was the first time I saw them, and
such a cool band.
Yeah, a great band. I've never had a chance to catch them live, and we all made the effort to get down here early, especially to see them, and that was awesome.
Justice tonight,
yeah.
See Justice.
I saw them recently at Brixton. It was an amazing show, a lot of fun.
You guys have, as well as the Skints, have quite a good relationship with Bank of Records in Kingston. You played a couple of shows there. It's obviously an independent record label and shop. So what is the state of independent music at the moment, and your sort of role?
Well, we've just started a label. I'd say it's a really weird time for music, but I think bands and artists that put out music and art that's interesting and done intelligently will always survive. You know what I mean? The music industry is like this sinking ship that, as far as I'm concerned, can just sink. And I think it will, give birth to people that are doing stuff interestingly. And that's, at the end of the day, I think that's what's important.
That's interesting to say that. What's the sort of approach to Spotify? Because some of the artists on YouTube really like it, some of them are sort of a bit on the edge about it.
Do you know what, I was very skeptical about Spotify, and then I signed up to it. Like, a lot of people told me it was like it was a good way to check out bands just like on the fly. And you know what, I was listening to the Skins record today, just like on Spotify. Do you know what I mean?
It's a really good way to find new bands.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to get into a lot more different bands and types of music through Spotify, and I will go to their gigs and I will check them out, and and I'll tell people to check them out as well. So, I feel everything's like, it's a double-edged sword at the end of the day. Like,
yeah, I mean, it just depends on if you use it for evil or not. Because I mean, the amount I travel and I download music illegally, but it allows me to check out bands, and I get to go buy their records. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that's amazing. I would have never found out about bands like Street Trash and. I remember I downloaded those records, and on my first tour through California, I went to the singer's house and bought their records out of his garage, and weird stuff like that, and you get a chance to just it exposes you to more stuff, and I think for me anyways, as a massive music geek, it's great, but obviously if you don't give a fuck about music and you just download bands, they're not going to be able to keep playing and making those records. So.
And what's next up for Gallows after running in these?
We're touring Europe and the UK September and October, and then November we're doing North America, and then Wade's back in England with Lex on Fire. If you want to buy a ticket, you missed out, I'm afraid. Yeah.
Under 5 minutes. So, there we go.